Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Kai'Sa supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at AP Kai'Sa. So, without further ado, let's just jump straight into talking about the items, runes, and spells. So it's actually pretty straightforward. You want to start off with going for the Terminus first item. This gives you AD and attack speed, on-hit magic damage, stacking resistances, and stacking penetrations. It's definitely going to be Kai'Sa's best first item, although it is a tad expensive. And then you want to go into your boots after your first item so you can rush your Q Evolve. Now, this can be the Gluttonous Griefs if the enemy team is mixed in terms of damage, but if they're heavy on AD or heavy on AP, you want to go for defensive boots, because with Kai'Sa, you're diving in a lot and you're taking damage quite a lot, so defensive boots actually is very, very good on Kai'Sa. So then, you're going to start going into AP immediately by going into your Nashor's Tooth. Now, Nashor's Tooth is going to give you AD at the beginning since you do have AD from Terminus, but it does give you the on-hit magic damage already. And then when you go into your next item, Riftmaker, it is going to give you a ton of APs. It's going to convert the Nashor's Tooth into an AP item, and of course, it gives you Omnivamp and True Damage as well when you are in combat for some time. And then you're going to want to go for Runan's Hurricane. Now, Runan's, of course, allows you to attack 3 people simultaneously and proc Kai'Sa's passive on 3 people simultaneously, and it's a very core item on Kai'Sa. Now, honestly, I did have a consideration of swapping these around where I go for Runan's first and then go into Nashor's later on. But honestly, like, there are pros and cons to both, but I kind of feel that at this point, you are not really going for an AP build, and if you really need AP, you kind of need to go for Nashor's a little bit earlier on. And of course, you can't go for Runans after Nashor's because you need the Riftmaker to convert Nashor's into an AP item. And then your last item is very flexible, so if you don't really need anything, Deathcap for just raw AP is great. But more often than not, I feel that you go for the other options, right? So you have Crown for that extra safety. As I said, you dive in a lot, so that extra spell shield is going to come in very handy. Sometimes you even need an Ocean's Trident just for anti-shield when no one in your team is building it and they have, like, a lot of shielding on the team. Ocean's Trident works out great. You also can apply it very easily because, of course, you can attack three people with your Runans, and also your Q can hit multiple people, so very easy to prop the lethal weapon passive. And then you can also go for burst damage in the form of Infinity Orb if you want, because you can always dive in, assassinate someone, and then try to invis and run out, things like that, right? So with the runes, standard ADC runes, nothing special here. For the spells, Flash and Cleanse is what I go for majority of the time. No, sometimes there's CC that you need a Cleanse. In the rare instance that you don't need Cleanse, Barrier is very good for lane, as well as also just for when you dive in, that extra shield is very handy. But Exhaust is also really good because Kai'Sa has amazing 1v1s, so with the extra Exhaust, you could definitely win the 1v1. So anyways, with all that said, now let's move on to taking a look at our gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at our actual gameplay itself. So, the only situation you want to be picking AP Kai'Sa is really only if your team is lacking AP. Because Kai'Sa with her crit build and with her on-hit build are just better builds compared to the AP build, at least at the current moment, especially with the nerf to Nashor's, and with the fact that with the AP build you have to delay your Runans to 4th item, kind of really isn't that good for Kai'Sa. So here, I was busy spectating the fight at the top side where Kayn died, so I was like, wait a minute, there's a fight here, and unfortunately for me, the enemy team kind of trolls it by walking under tower, so I'm going to flash forward here, try to get the kill onto Jhin. Jhin gets away. Now, unfortunately, Jhin walks back for some reason. I'm able to get the last 2 autos to kill the Jhin. I tank a tower shot myself, but Nautilus is not able to finish the kill, and myself and Soraka end up coming out on top with me getting a double kill right there. However, with the double kill, we need to immediately reset because we don't want to be in lane at this kind of health state where they can easily, engage on us and get a kill on us. So instead, we're going to quickly recall, pick up a long sword while we're at it, and then run back to the lane. So if we take a look at both teams, this is a wacky draft, right? Top lane, nothing special. Jungle, nothing special. Mid lane, you have an ADC versus ADC matchup with a Samira on my team against a MF on the enemy team, who are basically just all-inning each other and have used both of their summoner spells already. And yeah, it's just a fiesta everywhere. Right, of course, it was just now when they had that fight against Kayn. And of course, we have a pretty normal bot lane matchup. But you can see because of that weird mid lane matchup where it's Samira versus MF, both of them are AD. So this makes it such that the enemy team is full AD. It's literally Garen, Kayn, MF, Jhin, and Nautilus. Nautilus, of course, building tank and not AP Nautilus. So the whole enemy team is AD. definitely that means I'm gonna go for armor boots. And on my team, it's kind of the same story. You have Sion, you have Amumu, who is building tank, so he doesn't really do so much AP damage. You have Samira, who's AD, myself, and Soraka. Soraka, again, is AP, but doesn't really do a lot of damage because she's support. So, if I build AD here, it's a full AD team versus a full AD team. But I've taken it upon myself to actually build AP because the enemy team has 2 tanky champions in the form of Nautilus as well as Garen. So if I build AD as well, they have a very easy time itemizing. You can just go for items like Randon's Omen, Frozen Heart, all of these tanky armor items that they can get good value out of. So I don't really want to give them that opportunity. So instead, I'm gonna build AP, which now forces them to either build full armor and take a lot of damage from me, or they're gonna have to waste, quote unquote, waste a item slot, waste gold and etc. to build an AP item, so that they don't take so much damage from me. But in turn, they're gonna end up taking more damage from my teammates who are building AD. So in my opinion, it's kind of a win-win situation in these two senses as to why I'm gonna build AP this match. And we're already off to the races with that early double kill in the lane. So of course, Kai'Sa is really not the strongest champion in lane, but she does have a very strong level 1 with her isolated Q and just with her passive stacking. Now, I have died to Kai'Sa level 1 quite a number of times myself, and Kai'Sa level 1, not to be underestimated, is the only way I can put it. Now here, Jhin and Nautilus very split up. Jhin gets rooted, does get the first shot, Nautilus gets the hook into the chain CC here, but I'm gonna ult behind onto the Jhin. Jhin 1 HP, escapes, and now pops the ulti here. Nautilus pops the ulti, Soraka pops the ulti, Soraka tanking all of the damage, gets rooted by Nautilus, silences Nautilus, Nautilus trying to desperately kill Soraka. Soraka ends up dying eventually to the Jhin, who flashes forward to secure the kill, but that means he's in danger, and this allows me to then flash forward and secure the kill on him. So at the end of the day, very messy fight, but at the end of the day, it seems that we have really won that fight for 2 reasons. Number 1, of course, we killed the both of them, whereas they only managed to kill Soraka. And number 2, our minions crashed into their tower, which means that Jhin actually loses minions. So at the end of the day, we are coming out on top in terms of these fights. That was definitely a very exciting fight, where all of us were using everything. Everybody used their ults, everybody used their summoner spells, and it was really just a full-on all-in from both sides, and we do end up coming out on the better side of it, as I just covered. So here with that, we've completed our Terminus, which means that we have our Q evolve, which is a very huge spike for Kai'Sa. Getting Terminus before First Dragon is not very common, and it's definitely a very big deal, because you're going to be so much stronger at the first objective. And also, of course, now we're very strong in lane, so if they pick another fight with us, we're going to be in an even stronger state than we were the previous time they picked a fight with us, so they definitely don't want to be doing that.
Turret lost.
And here Jhin steps up alone. I can't believe Nautilus didn't hook in there. I was really expecting him to hook in there. I had my cleanse and my ult ready to re-engage onto the Jhin, who just took an entire isolated Q, but I guess Nautilus is kind of starting to see the writing on the wall, where maybe engaging is not really the best idea, and they kind of gotta scale a little bit first. There, I actually thought he might have ulted me, because the ult animation, the auto animation for Nautilus is very similar, which is kind of a little bit annoying to me. But overall, my team is kind of all doing fine. Like you can see a kind of really confusing situation here, because my team is 6 kills up on the enemy team, but the enemy team is up on goal against us because they've somehow taken both mid and top tower. I have no idea how that happens when we are ahead, but that is happening. Anyways, here Amumu is getting pelted by MF, turns around with the ulti, allowing me to follow up with my damage. I'm not going to ult because I want to kind of save it. I say that, but I kind of mess up the ult by not ulting over the wall. Sion with the ulti into the enemy team doesn't really hit very much. We've now zoned the enemy team off of the dragon though, so we're just DPSing the dragon. Kayn decides to go in, we secure the dragon. Kayn is in a spot of bother here, we get a kill on him. Nautilus now is in trouble, we prop the passive, get a kill on him. Garen now in trouble, we're not even going to bother chasing because we're kind of too far behind our team to really chase. We're instead just going to head back to lane, clear out these minions, and get all the gold from this wave. And at this point, 6-0-2 within the first 6 minutes of the game. Look at all these Jin traps. They're just evaporating the minion wave. Now, Jin taking a ton of damage under tower, though. We, of course, don't have ult to go in on him. Not that we really wanted to here, but we're going to continue farming the next wave since, of course, Nautilus is just respawning and making his way back to the lane. No real hurry. Jin with the cancellation on my recall. I'm not sure if he had vision there or he just got lucky and clipped the edge of the bush where I was, but I canceled my recall and walked to the other bush to get the reset instead. And now I'm going to start building towards the Nashor's Tooth, starting with the recurve bow for an extra attack speed. Then I headed back to the lane where MF is trying to get my tower, apparently. Honestly, we could easily just auto her, ult in, and probably kill her. I don't think she's a very big threat at the moment. Does have a BT though. But I highly doubt she wins against me in the 1v1. I mean, a matter of fact, Samira is going in on her 1v1, and I'm contributing pretty much nothing here. Like, I'm chasing her toward the Samira, I guess, so I did contribute something. Nothing in terms of damage, but I did force her to walk towards my Samira. So here you can see I'm focusing the tower, because I can see that a fight is happening / about to happen here. Then I'm going to see if I can help out my team. I realize that I can't quite reach there, so I'm going back to focusing the tower, because the fight will probably eventually migrate towards us. So I was thinking of getting that tower so that we can, you know, have a better time, but unfortunately, yeah, that was a little bit too optimistic from me because, yeah, it's not so easy to get that tower. So regardless, I'm going to pick up the red buff here, walk back to the lane, where they see only a Soraka and might be mistaken that she's alone. Now, fortunately for the Jin, he ends up in the bush where I can't really target him and there's a minion wave so I can W him. Nautilus engages onto the Soraka. Soraka pops the ulti. We also have MF here, unfortunately, so it's a little bit difficult. So here I need to block for Soraka, which I am doing. We are under tower. I'm just blasting everybody here just with my autos. I'm taking a lot of damage. Soraka is healing me up though. Get the auto onto the Jin. I see Amumu coming in. I still have my ults. I'm going to ult to a safe-ish position. I didn't want to ult behind them because I'm going to get 3-man focus if I ult behind them. So I ult to the front of the... Not to the front, but more towards my side, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, because of the non-aggressive ult, we don't quite manage to finish the kill. Now here, Garen flashing in and executing the Soraka, but this puts him in danger himself. So he ends up tanking pretty much 4 people. Samira picks up the kill. And yeah, huge ulti from Samira there onto multiple people. We get the kill there. Once again, the tower is, you know, causing us problems. Because it's still up and the enemy team has that tower to just deal extra damage for them. Now we're finally going to remove this tower off the map, which is what I've been trying to do for the longest time. And at this point, honestly, we're 7-0-4. We have an Amumu to engage for us, we have a Soraka to heal us, and we have a Sion, hopefully, to tank for us in fights. Honestly, a pretty good team comp, and just a pretty dream match for us so far. We've not really faced any real big problems from anybody on the enemy team thus far, and doesn't really seem like anyone's going to be a problem so far. Of course, being wary of especially the Garen. I don't think Garen's a very strong champion. He can definitely pose problems if he plays properly. Now here, I'm doing a lot of damage to MF because although Garen is actually physically there, he's not actually contributing anything to the fight. He's not tanking any damage for her, and he's not dealing any damage to me. So what looks like a 1v2 is actually a 1v1 between me and MF, and we know that I win against the MF 1v1, so she's taking a ton of damage. Don't think I managed to proc her Bloodthirster though. Now Kane here runs into my entire team. MF with the covering fire. Amumu goes in, doesn't ult though. Finally ults. 4-man ulti from the Amumu. Somehow everybody survives. Could have cleansed there, but I didn't, so I think I messed up a little bit there. Samira with the ulti. I flashed away, but I probably should have flashed forward there. I honestly felt that that was a dangerous situation, so I flashed away to reposition, but what ends up happening is Samira ends up evaporating all of them the moment I flash out, so a little bit of I wouldn't call it anti-synergy, but it's a little bit of miscommunication, I guess you could say, between the two of us. Of course, this is solo queue, so no one really knows what anybody else is thinking in the game. So here, I recognize that enemy jungler is alive, my jungler is dead, no point starting off the dragon. Better thing to do is pick up this huge wave that's like worth 1 kill's worth of gold, if not more. And wait for my team to kind of come. Now, Samira and Amumu are respawning. Sion is picking up a reset. Don't think Sion's going to make it here in time unless he ults over. But here, entire enemy team is focusing the dragon. They do get the dragon. However, the fight is kicking off. Sion is ulting in. I'm focusing basically the first target. I'm going to reposition to a safer spot where, unfortunately, I'm stuck in a 1v1 against the Kayn. I get knocked out by him. He realizes that he's in trouble, so he actually runs away from me because I'm going to kite to the tower and he's not going to be able to kill me. So he realizes that he can't really win against me there, and he actually decides to make the smart move of actually running away. And this then allows me to, of course, stay safe in the fight. And now I'm able to pick up just even more farm. Really want to get to that Riftmaker so that we become full AP. And you can see on the enemy team, it's armor boots on to 3 people. We do have Warmocks on Nautilus into an armor item, and we do have armor item on Garen as well. So completely no magic resist on their side. I get the Riftmaker, I get the W evolve, and now I am a AP, kind of champion, right? So ready to kind of dish out my AP damage here. Fight breaks out here. I can ult over the wall if I want to, but I kind of really don't want to. So I'm just DPSing over the wall until I actually need to ult. Because I really don't want to get myself in that kind of position where it's just me and Amumu over the wall and the other 2 teammates are not. Now Jin completely trolls it here because he takes the gate into a very dangerous position. Now I'm just running him down. There's nothing he can really do here. His bounty actually resets, so I actually get the full 300 gold off of the kill on him. Now I'm rejoining my team, of course now playing the backline because I don't have ult to reposition anymore. Still have flash and cleanse though. Now this is a very awkward situation because Jin's dead, so I think we can actually do Baron if we want to, but my team is looking more for the fight than the Baron. So sorry about that. So the music randomly started. But anyways, now we're gonna walk back to the fight. Unfortunately, we're frontlining now, so we quickly walk toward the wall. Very crucial because that allows us to dodge the Nautilus hook because he can't hook through a wall. So very important positioning pointer there. If you're against the Nautilus, he can't hook you through the wall, so you want to position behind the wall and things like that. And here, where everybody's still posturing around the Baron pit, Jin is back alive at this point. He's probably almost here or already here. And everybody's just kind of walking around. Amumu now getting kind of semi-caught out. However, since they're focusing him, I'm able to DPS them for free in the backline. Garen GA pops. Nautilus now in trouble, goes down. Garen tries in his dying breath to kill the Amumu, doesn't work out. I'm going to ult to finish the MF off. And we're now going to chase the Jin. I don't really want to waste time chasing the Jin, so I'm just going to ping for doing the objective. Now, Kayn and Jin are on the opposite side of the map, so there's kind of no threat at the moment because the only 2 people left alive are on the other side of the map. Samira does end up dying to the Kayn though, and now Amumu is trying to stop the Kayn. So both junglers are on the wrong side of the map, which is fine, because so long as we can actually just do the objective, it's no problem. However, Amumu doesn't stop Kayn from taking the gate to the objective. Now we have a problem, because now Kayn can steal. So here, Soraka is desperately trying to zone him off, while we finally finish off the objective, and thankfully we secure it before the Kayn is able to get into smite range. Now that was a very, very sketchy of a situation where very easily Kayn could have just ran in face first and just gotten a steal. Honestly, if I were Kayn, I wouldn't be dilly-dallying. I would just be going straight in and trying to get the steal, but he was able to... His time was wasted a little bit, just that 1 or 2 seconds by Soraka, and that was the difference maker in terms of him not being able to get to the Baron in time. So very well played by the Soraka. Now we have everything up, flash, cleanse, and ult. And we had flash and cleanse for the last like 1 or 2 fights, and we haven't had to actually use it, which is a great thing. So here now with the Baron, we're using it to, of course, just push in as we should. The usual ARAM is commencing with Samira in the split push, a 1-4 formation here. We're just auto-attacking the two tanky targets to stack up our lethal tempo, as well as just get some damage off on them. Now Jin, I don't know what he's doing. I'm just going to ult on him and just assassinate him, which also allows me to reposition away from the tank. Now here I was thinking, this is possible pentakill angle, so here I get the 2nd kill. Unfortunately, I don't get the 3rd kill. If I got the 3rd kill, I would be cleansing and flashing forward for the next 2 kills, but we didn't get it, so we're going to be happy with what we have and instead just continue on with our push. Now here we're going to secure the side lane inhibitor, which is going to be more important, assuming we don't end the game right here and now. And I realize here that we can keep on going, so I'm blast planting myself and the Amumu back into the fight. And here I'm just launching my autos onto whoever is the closest target. Amumu goes in with the CC. Kayn goes golden in the middle of 5 people. I don't think he's going to make it out. Get CC'd by Amumu. I go legendary. 13, 0, and 11 at this point. And we're going to be able to end the game right here. So, completely dominant one-sided Kai'Sa game here. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.